Morning, Connor. Good, thank you. Yeah. So Saturday, a big one really. You spoke about the response from Saturday. It must be really from Tuesday. Sorry, at Port Vale. It must be really satisfying that the team can sort of respond like that and show a gutsy clean sheet win.
Yeah, really, really pleasing. Wanted to push both performance and result to bed as quick as we can. And off the back of losing and the way that we lost, you don't want that to drag on and kind of linger and wait for your next win. So to do that pretty quickly in the next game was really pleasing. Wanted a real reaction off the players, in terms of energy levels and how we wanted to look with and without the ball. And I thought the lads played really, really well. Thought they carried out the information really, really well. And in my opinion, it should have been a lot more of a comfortable result come the end of the game.
Obviously, you spoke about Georgie Genta and Fabio Gello coming back. How are both of them in terms of potentially playing a bit more? And I'm guessing Georgie maybe is a little bit ahead of Fabio.
Yeah, Georgie's in it for I think Georgie now is in a place where we can consider him for squads if needed. There's a resort game tomorrow for Fabio, so and here at the moment it's a nat. I think then after that one, Fabio will come into contentions for first team squads. He probably just needs a little bit more minutes. He could offer quite a while, obviously, and take 45 in a 21s game, then take 45 as planned on Saturday. We looked a lot kind of brighter and sharper than maybe I thought he was, to be fair to him, which is great for him. And if he can get more minutes in 21's game tomorrow, then he can come into contingent first team squads then.
Mark Roberts and Josh Earl, could either of them or both of them potentially play tomorrow night?
Yeah, they both be on the grass up the last couple of days, so they'll both be heavily considered for the game. We're hoping that both will be pretty much involved really. Roberts probably a little bit more 50-50 than Josh. Josh is pretty much nailed on to be involved. Robert will have to see how he comes through training today. But look, if he's with us, great. If he's not, then we expect him to see him involved on Saturday. So I think with Rob, everyone was worried would it be 4-6 weeks or whatever, and it's obviously a very, very tight turnaround. So whether he makes tomorrow or not, let's just wait and see off the back of today. But if he doesn't make today, he'll be a pop Saturday.
And Better, how's he doing?
Nate's going to be probably half a late in audience. So again, it's nothing long term, which is positive. I think just this week we're going to have to, make do with no Nate for Lincoln and Leighton Orient, and then after Leighton Orient, he should come back into contention.
Okay. Lincoln in general then, what do you make of them? Obviously doing very well high up in the league. What type of opponent do you expect?
Yeah, they do really, really well. I think over the last 3 or 4 games they've been on played in games that have been really exciting, just come through results and come off the back of some tight games in the right place for them. I know obviously they played Paul Street in the Work 2 Trophy last Tuesday, not the game since. And that was a game that they obviously didn't come out on the right side up. So, look, we know they're a really good team. We know that they have their strengths, and just like any team, full preparation as always. And they've not had a game now for a week, so they had no game on Saturday. We'll be ready for some tomorrow.
Yeah, you mentioned they haven't had a game for a week, but you've obviously, as you've said a couple of times, sort of managed the minutes. So do you feel like your squad's coming into it fresh and not like they have a huge advantage that you've played much more minutes than them or anything like that?
Tried to to be really clever, thought process that was quite thorough on the team selection for Port Vale and for Peterborough. And obviously the Peterborough game looked maybe a little bit stronger on paper, but that's because obviously there was a week between the next league games, whereas if we played Reyes or people that Luke kept from the start against Peterborough, then they have less time to recover. So there was thought processes gone into all team selections, but I was delighted with the group on Saturday. We managed to play the game on the right way with the right energy levels with people that maybe haven't had as much minutes, which is great because obviously they feel like they've put their foot in the door now for team selection for the lead, and that's what you want to move forward.
You played Lincoln about a month ago or so in the trophy. I'm guessing their team will probably look a bit different to that. And do you think their approach might be a bit different as well? Obviously they came here and sort of defended well and caught you on the counter-attack a couple of times. Do you think that at home it'll be a different prospect?
Potentially, look up they obviously going to team here in a certain way, and there's a Virtue Trophy game with non-Dana fans and whatnot. So we expect them to come out a little bit more fun for sure. And obviously, look, our team will look a little bit different as well. Look, I think, yes, we can judge it a little bit on that game, but I think, league game, on the lights of their place with a different energy. I think it would be completely different feel.
They've had the same manager for quite a long time now. He obviously built something quite good there. What would you say about him and his style of play and his team in general?
Really, like I think similar to Dave of Stafford, and things take time. You need to go about your business in the right way. They built up squads over the course of the last couple of years. They obviously that little bit longer, of course, but it just shows when you build and you step by step, small steps at a time, you can go onto something good. And they're obviously in a real good place. They're a team that have got a lot of know-how for the level. People like Radley, Adam Reach that have tried and tested at this level and above. So we know that they don't give up much, and they are involved in tight games and they come out the right side of it a lot, and hopefully we can come out on the right side of it tomorrow.
The league games come pretty thick and fast now. Obviously, you mentioned 2 in about 4 days this week, and then the Christmas period is not that far away. It feels like we've been waiting for this, really. It's been, as we've talked about, quite stop-start. Do you feel like the squad's ready for this difficult, busy period?
Yeah, I think this week's an important one for the squads. I feel like we're kind of on the cusp of moving in the right direction. I think we're slowly getting there, but then obviously you get like a poor result somewhere. I would probably look at maybe Rotherham when we're on the right track for things and we get beat there. Then obviously the Port Vale game the other night was off the back of a good result, a couple of results in the league. And now we picked up a good result at Port Vale. Can we really build on that and really take big steps forward rather than becoming a little bit inconsistent and waiting for that next time to move forward in the right direction? I feel like we're in the right direction. We're waiting for the 2-3 results in a row to really kick us on to get to where I think the squad can get to.